What's up, my mono minorities? This is your man Kuro. We're sitting here with my man
Shiro. What's up, Kuro-chan?
What's up, Shiro? Hey man, you got that look on your face. Everything okay?
I don't know, man. These days, I don't know. I've been very concerned lately in the JA community. How about you? You feel the same way?
I'm probably like most people who are listening. I don't really know that much about the JA community.
Yeah.
Can you like enlighten us?
Well, you know what? These days, I've been very I'm very concerned about the JA community itself in general. Bottom line is that I think the JA community has not feeling its void, feeling its community duties to our generation, our Issei's, Nisei's, and Sansei's, even Yonsei's and Gosei's as well. And I feel that it's time for these discussions these talks that need to happen for us to build back, revitalize the JA community within America or within your own community throughout the world.
Now, who are we talking about? JAs? Are we talking about Jewish Americans or who are we talking about?
No, you're talking about your Japanese American Nikkeis, man.
Okay.
The first, second, third, fourth generations who basically were born in America, established themselves as an American citizen, but obviously have Japanese ancestries. And what's happening is that I feel that a lot of our fourth, fifth have lost their quote-unquote heritage. Yes, they know they're American. They eat like an American. They shit like an American. But they would never be truly called American. They'll be always called a Japanese American or something an American. So why not learn the other half of their side, of their ancestries? And so that's where I feel the JA community has been lacking in terms of leadership and providing that guidance, the identity. Now, I'm not saying everybody has a crisis, but I think that people who are JAs, Japanese American, or any Japanese, Brazilian, Peruvian, should always look into themselves and figure out, wow, I'm blessed with this ancestors. How can I learn from it, or where can I learn more about it? These days, there's not that many necessities, there's not many tools, except for YouTube. But fuck YouTube.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of the listeners are like me. I mean, I'm also a Japanese American, and I'm fifth generation. Would that consider me like five say?
You call it's Gosei for you.
Okay,
but the thing is that even Goseis. I mean, I'm pretty sure as a Gosei yourself, it's hard to find out your true roots.
Well, where do I start? I mean, what establishments are there that I could go to? Or is there like a NAAAJAP or something?
No, no, there's nothing like that. But what we do have is Japanese American community centers all throughout the world, especially in California, that does have events and things like that to promote. The problem to me is that the way they're promoting is insufficient. It sucks. We as JAs need to at least criticize our community if we want to improve on it or not.
So you're talking about the people that are in leadership right now?
Absolutely. And the fact is that anytime we have we want to figure out who we are. How can I find out more about my roots? The Japanese American community, and especially in Los Angeles, does not provide those kind of programs to our, Japanese American citizens itself. And that's where I feel that, hey, listen, you know what? It's time for, to kind of step up and say, hey, what's going on? What kind of program are you providing to me? This is not right. Something needs to happen in order for us to preserve our history and our culture. We have a beautiful history, we have a beautiful culture, but yet Japanese Americans, especially in America, do not engage or do not understand their own heritage itself. It's time for us to say, hey, what is our local Japanese American community doing in that sense? That's what the talk is. It's not to say it's dead. You have non-Japanese being more in tune with their with Japanese cultures than us. I mean, that kind of sucks.
No, I do see that. I do see that. There are pretty a lot of YouTube bloggers out there that do seem to know more about Japan than actual Japanese people.
Right, and it sucks. It's like what the fuck is going on? That's bullshit. You know, I mean, rightly so, right? Yes or no? I mean, you know, that doesn't matter. It's a matter of fact that what are we doing as Japanese? How can we find our roots, our heritage? Now, I agree. There are some people out there that says, who cares? You know what? I'm an American. Fuck you. But you know what? You look at yourself. You wake up in the morning. You look at yourself in that fucking mirror every day. Who do you see? That face ain't gonna change. Your fucking that face, that skin. You can change your fucking last name. You can fucking change your first name. But hell, that fucking Japanese almond ass eyes. You know that your skin will never change. That is always gonna be on you forever. That's how people are gonna identify you, no matter what.
So you're saying we shouldn't like integrate into America?
No. We are already intimated. We are already assimilated to America. But the problem is that we're assimilated to the point where we want to become like white America itself. We cannot. Listen, my thing is that as Japanese American, and especially in Japanese / any other culture, anywhere in the country, you have a unique opportunity to bridge to understand both cultures, the American side of the culture, Japanese side of the culture, and to take the best of both worlds and mix them together to make your own culture. I'm not saying go one way or the other. What I'm saying is that create your own path, but don't forget who you truly are as a Japanese American.
Should we model ourselves after like what other races done, particularly like African Americans? Should Japanese people walk around with their daishikis and their top knot, you know, the fundoshi, you know, the Japanese thong,
right, with the mikoshi, right,
you know,
right,
waving
right,
the Japanese
right.
flag? I mean,
No.
What's the extent to where we, you know, draw the line on being American and Japanese?
No. What it is that, you know, it's okay to, you know, speak English, blah blah blah. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, don't forget your roots. Don't be ashamed. That's what I think is happening. That we're ashamed to become Japanese, and we're not proud. And I'm saying, I think it's fine. Let's be proud. It's okay. Yes, I'm a fucking Japanese American.
Okay, Shiro, then explain to us what's so great about being Japanese American.
Well, Kuro-chan, you know, one good aspect of becoming a Japanese American or any Japanese nationality that you come from is you actually get to understand, or hopefully most people get to understand, both sides of the culture that they live in. The American aspect, the American culture, as well as the Japanese culture itself. And you know what the beauty is that, you know, you don't have to pick and choose which cultures to go. I think what's troubling to me in American society is that we have to choose one culture or the other. And I think one great aspect as a Japanese American is basically we get to pick the best aspect of both cultures and kind of balance it out. You know, you got the sometimes you gotta be assertive to people. That's the American culture. Sometimes you gotta be humble, respectful. That's the Japanese aspect of it. And so, you know, what it is that you don't have to choose. I feel that you can develop and you grow your own culture as a Japanese American. So that's one of the best aspects of it itself. That's why, you know, we are in that position, in that great position of trying to bridge both American and Japanese cultures together. I feel that we are the key to smoothing out or understanding both sides of the aspects so that both people understand each other's countries and ways. How are you, Kuro-chan? What is your take on this as a fifth generation Japanese American?
Well, actually, tell you the truth, I really don't know much about my history to even be proud of anything.
No, well, see that's
honestly.
that's the first problem. That's where I feel that the Japanese American community has not done a great job, a sufficient job enough to educate our young Japanese American about our histories.
Like, who are our heroes?
Right, we have no George Takei. I don't know. I mean, come on. I mean, what?
I mean,
Hero from the show Hero.
Oh,
the fat dude, the fat Japanese dude. You know, your typical. You know, who's that? I mean,
I could see why people would kind of stray away from not wanting to be
No,
recognized as being
I agree.
Japanese
I
American.
agree. I mean, there's rather than being, finding role models and all that stuff. What we need to do is, as a community itself, is to kind of gather people and celebrate, and celebrate our heritage itself, and as well as educate, of course. But I think the key is to celebrate and not be embarrassed. I think the key is that a lot of Japanese Americans are afraid to say they're being proud to be Japanese American or Japanese itself, anything associated with Japanese. When I was growing up, I was going to school, and this will probably tell some my age. During the 1980s, it was so-called Japan bashing, where everything that was Japanese made was all like, oh, no good. These freaking Japs suck. We thank God we bought Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I still get that consistently till this day sometimes from my non-Japanese friends. Shit like that.
It seems like they can't forget about that.
Sometimes they can't forget about that. It's just like lost history, as one would say.
That part actually I did learn about in school was about being Japanese equates to being the enemy.
Right, and you feel shame. You even go further back in the internment camp. I mean,
that's if even they tell you about that.
Well, that's one page, brother. 1 or 2 pages, and everything else you gotta find out in either on the internet or Wikipedia.
If it wasn't for my relatives being interned, I would have never known.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Even Japanese word.
Absolutely. If I didn't do my due diligence and do more research, I would never know how the hardships and the plights a lot of these Japanese Americans gone through. What's so unfortunate about it is that we don't discuss that, because of that, yes, a lot of Japanese Americans lost their land, values, lost their livelihood and all that stuff. But most important thing to me is that you lost generations and generations of future Japanese, their kids, learning their heritage. The parents who were in turn told their kids that you will never learn to speak Japanese because they didn't want their kids growing up feeling discriminated consistently and not have them go through the same plight that they have gone through when they were interned. So when you do that, you lose a generation of people not knowing where their answers are. I mean, how sad is that?
So would that be considered, was that post-war baby boomer generation?
Baby boomer generation, absolutely. And
so we're talking about pretty much anybody within the baby boomer generation.
Correct, absolutely.
Lost.
Absolutely. And what happens with that is that it's reciprocal. So when those people have kids, they're gonna not even teach them what is onigiri, what is rice, what is ramen, what's that shit.
What is onigiri?
Onigiri, it's onigiri, it's that rice ball shit.
I just gotta make sure that the white people in our audience know.
All right, cool, I got you. But what it is that people don't talk about, to me, that's more of a bigger impact. Yes, money, livelihood can always be replaced somehow, somewhere. But generation of lost culture, that cannot be replaced. We cannot go back and revisit that era again and teach the kids what is it to become a Japanese. What is a Japanese? What is, your ancestry. And that's where not many people talk about it. I'm not saying go out there and also protest to the White House and say, What it is that I think it's time for us to realize that, hey, there is a gap within our community that we need to call out people. That we need to criticize and say, hey, what are you doing for our community? What are you doing for us? How are you educating our kids or me in general? Not going through YouTube, not going through Wikipedia. I want information within our own community. Each community is different. And that Google or the internet cannot be replaced.
Well, I think that generation, we're talking about the baby boomer generation now,
Right.
actually pretty fractured, isn't it? I mean, you have this one side that are like this highly educated, ultra type people, and then you have the other rest where it's just like working class people.
Right. But I'm like, it's like in society, but the problem is that, yes, that there's a kind of gap in any society itself. But also speaking, the one common thing is that we're all Japanese American. We're all Japanese through heritage, one way or the other.
You don't think the baby boomers actually put in work for us to actually show that they can go ahead and be within assimilated into American society? A lot of them became judges.
No,
Judge
right, no,
Lance
listen,
Ito. A lot of them became senators
right,
and
listen,
policemen. I
right.
mean, a lot of them are actually pillars of society.
No, I agree.
I mean, it would be hard for me actually to devalue them and say that they're totally lost. But then you think culturally,
I think culturally, I mean, no.
like should they be ashamed that they don't know Japanese?
I think there's.
Or
I
should
think there should be some kind of retribution, but it's some kind of like, hey, acknowledgement. Hey, yo, you know you're Japanese. You know X, Y, and Z, or do you know Aiweo, whatever. But at least get them to understand that, hey, that's Japanese, bro. Hey, you know what? Come over. I'm gonna teach you something.
But from my understanding, I mean, isn't it like a taboo to be prideful in being Japanese?
Oh, that's right. That's
Japan?
right. That's right. Oh, excuse me. That's right. Because
would you be considered like an ultra nationalist?
Exactly. They'll be coming.
They have a term for that.
Exactly. Right. It would be labeled as racist. You know, the Japanese xenophobe. All that bullshit. I'm like telling myself, well, just because I'm proud to be Japanese, that's why being labeled. Fine, label me that. I don't care, because you know what? If that, I'm not going out there saying my love to the rising sun or the emperor itself. I'm just saying to come to my friends and to the community. So hey, it's okay to be Japanese. It's okay to eat onigiri. It's okay to eat yakisoba in front of people and say, yeah, you got a problem with that? Why do we have to hide it? You know what? You know, why can't we show our, you know, things like that? That as Japanese Americans, sometimes we're afraid. And I'm telling us, no, we shouldn't be afraid. We should say, yeah, damn it, eat my yakitori, eat my teriyaki beef bowl, as one would say. You understand? It's back in the days, I would say 20, 30 years ago, it was a shame to eat sushi. It was like sushi, what's that? It's raw fish. But now it's like, oh my god, it's this new shit here. It's like it's like, oh, it's fancy cuisine. I'm like, here, yeah, bro, this is like, I've been eating this shit ever since I was a little kid when I was growing up. But the thing is that, you know, as Japanese Americans, we should be proud of that. Things like that are out there, you know, representing us. Rather than hiding it, we should embrace it. That's all it is. I'm not saying go march down. You said go march down in fucking, you know, Washington D.C. and wave, you know, all the, you know, Japanese flag and shit like that. No, what I'm trying to say is that let's not be ashamed of saying, yes, I am Japanese American. That's my heritage. You got a problem with that? And I'm damn proud of it. I'm damn proud of my Honda Civic and shit like that. You know, I'm damn proud of my anime, whatever, you know, Dragon Ball, what have you. But the thing is,
is that Japanese American? I mean, let's not get confused with being Japanese from Japan to being Japanese that's been here for generations. You
understand, you know, the Japanese culture from current society does influence us today, currently, as this one would say. I'm just saying that as Japanese American, we should embrace it. Again, embracing it and not be ashamed. That's the key. I think a lot of people
don't know. I mean, this culture that Japan has is a post-war culture. A lot of the people that came here came from before the war.
Some
so
did.
Their culture was totally different.
Right. Some are pre, some are post.
Some were actually even before Japan became militarist.
Right. The notion is that when we live in America, we gotta be American. We have to think the American way. I said, fuck that shit.
But don't you think Japanese American actually earned their spot in America? I mean, we did fight for this country.
Yeah, I know we did fight for this country, but again,
a lot of us are still in top positions in the military.
But again, we still face some kind of discrimination within our society. Still, we will never become those CEOs. I mean, there are very few. If you look at the top 100 CEOs, I would say maybe a handful are either Asian American, or even that within that, very few are Japanese American itself. Very few. I mean, recently I know Warner Brothers president is a Japanese American, which I'm very proud of, but those are far and few. Even though we are ingrained within society and we have really good top position, we still lack business leadership as well as government representation in the United States itself. It's time for us to call out our communities, criticize it for what it's not doing. That's what it is. The message is basically, what are we doing? What is our community doing for us? And if not, then we should demand it. We should say, hey, what are you doing for us? What kind of programs are you doing for us as well as our kids, our grandkids, whoever. That's what the whole message is all about.
So what, we're supposed to go out and build Japanese tea gardens everywhere? I mean, where do we go from here?
So the way to go about this is basically to get involved with your local Japanese American community and ask them, hey, what kind of programs you have, what kind of ideas you have to revive the Japanese American. I feel it's not there yet. It's lacking. It's spiritual. I mean, I don't know where it is. I mean, you go to these, these Japanese American, events. I just don't feel it. I don't feel the energy, the proudness of becoming a Japanese. I just feel, it's a job. Like, whatever. I'm doing my job. It's done. That's it. Thank you very much. Rather than saying, understanding and embracing the Japanese American society, culture itself, and that's where I feel that, what we have to do is to criticize our community. If we don't criticize the community, our community cannot improve. That's all criticism is. I like it so much that I want to criticize them in front of YouTube, because I care about that community as much as you, Kuro-chan. Because you know what? Because if it's not said, it's going to be going down and down and down the drain before it's too late, where it disappears within another 5 or 10 years. Something's got to happen now, and it has to happen soon. That's just my point. That's it. That's all I'm asking. That the discussion needs to happen, and I think it has to happen soon.
Okay, well, I think we went ahead and we got the dialogue started.
Hopefully so.
Maybe some of the listeners can go ahead and leave a comment below.
Again, this is a community. I want this channel to be a community where we can have a discussion among ourselves as well as with our subscribers. That's the point. That's the concept behind this. Because hell, we're all spread out. America's fucking big, but at least in the internet, it's one button away.
True. All right, people. Well, you heard it here first. Don't forget to like and subscribe.